Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all good. In today's video I'm sharing with you guys the Kiki London Hema free collection, and we're also going to be doing a jelly black nail design. Now I have already swatched this collection over on the Kiki London channel, and I do talk a little bit more in depth about the Hema free line over on that video. So if you have already seen that video and you don't need to see the swatches again, then I will leave a timestamp here for you guys if you'd like to just jump to the design that we're going to create. But I wanted to swatch the collection on my own channel, as I usually tend to do this with the Kiki collections anyway, and I know that some of you might not be aware of the Kiki London YouTube channel. But anyway, jumping in to this collection, I think it's absolutely brilliant that Kiki have brought out a Hema free line. Their original line does have a very low levels of Hema in it anyway, but if you are allergic to gel polish, a lot of the time it is the Hema that you tend to be allergic to. So this collection is completely Hema free, which is absolutely brilliant because it gives more accessibility to people who want to wear gel polish but might not have previously been able to. Now there are 6 shades originally launching in this collection. I do believe Kiki will be adding more shades to the collection. It does also include the Hema free base and top coat as well. So one of the things that I thought was brilliant about this is the Kiki London Builder Gel range is already Hema free, but there wasn't a base and top coat to go with that. So now, even if you are not wanting to use the gel polish but you're wanting to use the builder gel, you now have the option to buy the base and top coat that's Hema free as well. But let's take a look at the colors. So first up we have a classic white, which is exactly what it says on the bottle. Exactly the same goes for classic black. They are your classic white and black shades. They are both super highly pigmented, which I find brilliant because a lot of the time I'll use black and white for nail art, so you want nice strongly pigmented colors so that you don't necessarily have to do 2 coats when you are doing any of your hand painted designs. Next up we have a true nude, and I really am loving this nude. I never used to be a fan of nude gel polishes when I very first started doing gel polish nails, but they grew on me incredibly and I love this one especially. It's one that I really do want to get into a set on myself. Then we have Barbie Pink, which is a perfect shade if you are into anything pink and girly. It's also great if you are looking forward to the new upcoming Barbie film. As you can see, it's a beautiful, bright, sweet pink shade. I really like this one. Both myself and my daughter was really impressed with this one. However, it is Lavender Lust that has to be my favorite in this collection. If you've watched my channel, you'll know that purples, lilacs, they're one of my absolute favorite colors, especially for nails, and this lilac is just dreamy. It's got a beautiful creamy consistency and the color, in my opinion, is just perfect. Then lastly, out of the 6 shades that have launched is Merlot Red. Now this red is really unique. It's a red, but it's got it leans a little bit to a fuchsia pink shade, and then it kind of has that bit of a blue undertone that some pink reds can have. I really love it. I think it's an absolutely beautiful shade. So now that we've done the first coat on all 6 shades, I'm going to pop those all in to cure for 30 seconds in my LED lamp. If you're using a UV lamp, then you want to cure for 1 to 2 minutes, but I would highly recommend checking out the Kiki London Deluxe LED lamp because I've had mine for over 2 years now and it has been absolutely brilliant. It cures everything brilliantly. So now we're going to come in and add our second coats of colour. Now, especially with the classic white and the classic black, they are both highly pigmented shades. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your coats nice and thin so that you don't get any curing issues. With darker pigmented shades like black, if you apply them too thickly, when they go in the lamp to cure, they can kind of bubble or ripple and the surface of the nail just won't look smooth. And this can mean that it hasn't cured properly as well. So always make sure with your more higher pigmented colors, especially black, keep your coats nice and thin. And that's why it's great that these colors all have a really nice opaque consistency that you do only need 2 thin coats of them. You can really see the colour coming through and the opacity coming through on True Nude as well when you come in and apply that second coat. So never judge a gel polish or a shade by its first coat. Always come in and do that second coat. And then here we have the beautiful Barbie pink. Now this collection has been on sale since Saturday. If you follow me or Kiki on social media, you probably would already be aware of that. I did want to have this video up a little bit earlier, but this week has just run away with me when it comes to time. But I have had this collection for a little while now. I've played around with it. I've done sets on myself, on my natural nails with it. I've done the Kiki video. I've done a couple of other behind the scenes designs just to get a really good feel of the collection, and I am absolutely loving it. But of course I will have more videos up on my own channel and on the Kiki London channel as well using it. I will leave the link to the Kiki London YouTube channel in the description box below, so do head on over and subscribe to them as well. So now we've done the second coat of our gel polishes, I am going to come in and top coat them. I always like to top coat my swatch sticks just because the gel polishes have a tacky inhibition layer, so they are designed to be top coated, and also it gives them even more of a beautiful shine. And as well, if you're working with clients and you're getting swatch sticks in and out, that top coat is gonna prevent any chipping or breakdown of the color. And this top coat is really lovely to work with as well. It is very similar in my opinion to the Kiki London no wipe top coat that's already available. It is just in that Hema free formula, and that's what's also great that I found about this collection is the colors and the consistency, the application has all been very similar to the regular Kiki London line, so you haven't got a huge transition if you are adding these into your range. So that, guys, is all 6 of these shades swatched. Of course, when new shades come out, there will be videos up showing you guys them, and I really hope that they also decide to bring out a Hema free matte top coat and a rubber top coat, because the rubber base and rubber top coats are 2 of my absolute go-tos from Kiki London, as well as the matte top coat. So even though Hema it's nothing that I'm allergic to personally, I'm lucky I've never had any nail related allergies, I think it'd be great if they added those products to the line. So here are those beautiful swatches, and then now let's jump in and do a nail art design. So for this design, I'm going to be using the base coat and classic black to create a jelly black. Now recently on my channel, I did a milky white design with white stamping over the top. And when I did that design, I said that I really wanted to try in black. And it was a little bit harder. Actually, the application and the technique wasn't any harder doing it in black. What was harder was picking it up on camera, like being able to see the design. You will see what I mean as we get a little further along in the video. But when I did the white design, I already had a milky white gel polish. I think I used one of the Kiki London rubber bases where I didn't have a jelly black, so we had to improvise and mix our own. So I've started off by taking some of the clear base coat and then some of classic black on my palette, and I'm just using my Kiki London round brush to really mix them together. And then I'm just bringing a little bit of that mixture to the side just so I can see how sheer it was, and it was looking a little bit too opaque. Like I said, the classic black is very pigmented, so I added in a little bit more of that base coat, and just so I can get a little bit more of a sheer black. Now this was a bit of an experiment, so I wasn't 100% sure how it was going to go, and also you want to make sure that you're mixing up enough on your palette to do all of the nails so that you have a nice consistent colour throughout the set. Then what I'm going to do is I wanted to make sure that I could do this in 2 coats so that I could get a nice even application. So this is what the first coat looked like. So this does look a little bit more glassy and a little bit more sheer than what it's going to when we've done the second coat. Now for the video purpose, I think it would have showed up a lot more if I had only done the 1 coat, but I decided to come in and do the second coat, and this is just where it's a little bit darker, but I wanted it to be that little bit darker. I didn't want the black stamping to stand out too much over the top of the base. I wanted that very similar effect that I got when I did the milky white design. So I did 2 coats, but the problem is just when it comes to stamping, it was a little bit hard to see. when I was recording. Let's see how it goes, because I haven't watched this video back, so I hope it shows up better than what it was when I was looking at my camera. I do show you guys though towards the end what the nails look like over a white base. I took them off their little stand and then you could see it a whole lot better. But here I'm just showing you guys the stamping plates we're going to be using. I chose these 4 from Born Pretty because I wanted to make sure each image had a different design, just so they all looked a little bit different. I've had these plates absolutely ages. I haven't used Born Pretty plates in a little while, but they are really brilliant quality and they are really reasonably priced as well. I do think I have a discount code for Born Pretty as well, so I'll see if I can dig that out and leave it in the description box below. For my stamping polish, I'm going to be using the black from Clear Jelly Stamper, and then here I have my Miss Lucy scraper. I still am absolutely loving this scraper, and I do also love the Miss Lucy stamping plates as well, so do check them out if you haven't already. So I'm going to apply a generous amount of stamping polish to half the design. We're going to scrape to fill that excess. I'm going to pick up my stamper, quick flick of the wrist. I have left this first nail all in real time, and as you can see, it picks up that image. And then we're just going to take the lint roller and remove some of the excess bits from around the side, just so they don't transfer, because we don't want them. Now this image is a little bit on the small side, so it isn't fully gonna fit the nail, so I'm just turning it to an angle, and then I'm going to line it up, press down nice and firmly, little wriggle from side to side, and then pull off. And then I'm just going to use some of the parts of the image to fill in those gaps, just so it does give the appearance that we've fully stamped the entire nail. So you can see here what I was saying about it's a little bit hard to see the image. Now in real life it was a lot easier to see the image, but where I've got my black gloves on, we've got a lot of patterns going on in the background, it was a little bit tricky to see. But what I end up doing is we do the stamping on all 4 nails, and then I take them off the stands and I'll show you guys them against a white background, and you can see that the black stamping polish does actually pop quite a lot over that jelly black base. So it was a really fun technique to do. I just think it showed up on camera a lot better with the milky white image. Now if you haven't already seen that video, I will leave that linked maybe at the end of the video, because I really loved how that design turned out. So on to the next image, we're using this dream catcher, and I love this plate because the whole plate is just one large image and you can just pick and choose parts of the image that you want to use. So it's great for stamping on different length nails, whether they be short or long, just because you can literally pick out smaller parts of the design or larger parts. And this was my favorite nail in the design as well, because the image was a little bit more open, so it wasn't filled in as much as, for example, this one. You see a lot more of that jelly base coming through, which then made the design itself pop a little bit more. But we're going to go in. I really love this image. I can't believe I haven't actually used it before, because I usually love anything that's leafy or foliage, and I haven't used this one before. And when I picked it up and stamped it down, it made me think of a bit of a tropical vibe. So I'm feeling maybe some neon nails with this stamped over the top, maybe some like neon ombres or something. I haven't done that many bright summer sets yet, and seeing as today is officially the first day of summer here in the UK, I definitely think I need to get some more summer nails up on my channel. So we're going to come in and stamp on that last image. I do have a few more in-depth stamping tutorials up on my channel, so I will leave a playlist linked as well at the end of the video for you guys to check out. So that is our last image stamped down. So what I'm going to quickly do is I just transferred these to a piece of white paper, and you can see that the black does really pop against the jelly base, and I really liked the effect, but the middle 2 nails were definitely my favorite. Now on the milky white design, if you guys remember, I added in some gold leaf. So originally I was going to add in some silver leaf onto this design, but I decided to go for a bit of a different effect, and we come in and apply some iridescent glitter, and I'm so glad I did, as I really loved what that added to the design. So I'm coming back in with that base coat, and I'm applying a thin coat of this, and we're going to leave this wet and lay our glitter down into this wet base coat. So I'm just floating this on nice and gently. Sometimes you have to be careful putting base coat over the top of stamping, because stamping can be a bit finicky and smudge. So I'm just floating that on, and then I have this really pretty iridescent glitter. I've had this one ages. I actually got this free in like a it was kind of one of the CJP mystery boxes or something like that they did, or Christmas box or something. I'm sure that's where I got it from. I know it's from CJP, but I remember I got it free with something that I ordered. So I'm not actually sure if it's available to purchase, and it was a very long time ago as well. But all I'm doing is I'm picking those pieces of glitter up with my round nail art brush and just pressing them down in certain areas on the nail. I don't want to cover up too much of the design, so I'm trying to fill in certain areas. It's always great as well adding glitter like this to your stamping designs if you are struggling a little bit of stamping or your images aren't stamping perfectly, because you can fill in the little areas where there might be any stamping imperfections with a little bit of glitter. So just adding that on into that uncured base coat, and I'm wanting to make sure that I'm keeping these pieces lying nice and flat and not adding too many as well, because we're only working with gel polish and these are quite chunky. So because after I'd added them in, I did feel as though they still were a little bit chunky, I'm going to come over with a super thin layer of builder gel. So I've got the Kiki London Easy Build Up Gel. I mentioned this towards the start of the video, and I was saying that this is also Hema free as well, and I absolutely love this builder gel. I work with it so much and it's really easy to work with. I love doing overlays with it. Sculpting with it is really nice as well, and then it just builds really easy, and it really adds a nice level of strength to your nails as well. So but for this purpose, I'm not building any strength and structure with it here. I'm simply using it just because it's that a little bit thicker than top coat to overlay over that glitter, so that it gives us a nice smooth finish and encapsulates that in. We're not building up any strength or structure, so I'm just floating on a really nice thin layer. And then once we've done this, we're going to pop this in to cure for 60 seconds, and then I am going to come in and top coat again, because you do still need to top coat the nails. But this has a beautiful crystal clear clarity to it as well, so you're not going to dull any of your design by encapsulating this in. It does require a 60-second cure, so it does the new no wipe Hema free top coat as well. So I'm just going to come in and apply a thin coat of this to all of the nails as well, and this is going to give them even more of a shine. And I just love how the iridescent glitter reflected in certain lights. It's got the reddy orange vibe, which is really nice for summer, and then it's kind of got a little bit of an icy blue tone to it in certain lights as well. I love an iridescent glitter mix. And then this, guys, is the finished result. So I really hope you all enjoyed today's video. I hope that if you are in the UK, you are enjoying the lovely sunny weather that we've been having. It makes a change for England. I am really loving it. And then this is just a couple of clips of the finished result. If you did enjoy today's video, please do give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love it if you did. And I shall see you all again soon in the next video. Lots of love. Take care. Bye bye.